Welcome to Rich's era. Right-wing leaders push soft on crime narrative to propel Republicans this fall, as most voters target abortion rights. Before we intend to continue, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates. With most America voters indicating that the preservation of abortion rights is their chief focus as midterm elections loom, the face of Fox News and Republican politicians seem to be making an attempt to shift attention to crime, a progressive media watchdog has warned. As Democrats ask for to take care of razor-thin benefits in each General Assembly chambers, an analysis from Media Matters for America notes that on 19 August, the highest-rated Fox News host, Tucker Carlson, implored every Republican candidate within the United States to pitch themselves as pro-law and order and equality below the law. Since then, the word crime has appeared in 29% of Republican political ads, up from 12% in July, Media Matters said, citing news from The Washington Post. In one and all the foremost closely watched contests, the Republican Senate candidate in Pennsylvania, Dr. Mehmet Oz, then launched ads offensive his Democratic rival, John Fetterman, on criminal justice. Poet Masters, a past Carlson guest and Republican Senate candidate in Arizona last week, derided the Democrats as the party of crime. A replacement survey by the Church Bench Research Facility showed 56% of voters said abortion would be very important at the polls when the America Supreme Court smitten down the 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that established the correct to terminate a pregnancy. A separate poll from the Wall Street Journal found that 60% of voters support abortion rights in most or all cases. Media Matters aforementioned it's not new for Republicans who hailed the Supreme Court ruling in June to fixate on crime and therefore the conception of law and order as a subject in national elections. The left-leaning non-profit Making pointed to an infamous ad a couple of guilty murderer, Willie Horton, that St. George H.W. Bush ventilated throughout his successful run to the Oval Office in 1988. The ad suspect his Democratic rival, Archangel Dukakis, of being loving crime, whereas Massachusetts governor as a result of Horton raped a girl and robbed a person throughout a brief furlough from jail there in state. Media Matters conjointly aforementioned that Carlson and Republicans have echoed one another before. For instance, Republicans joined the star Fox News host in characterizing black activists' protests against police brutality when the 2020 murder of St. George Floyd as a threat to safety. However, despite the rise in overall crime that the America has fully fledged in recent years across Democratic and Republican cities and states, murder and alternative violent offenses stay well below levels within the early 1990s, a part of that was below a Republican White House. Whereas property crime rates have fallen, murder rates have augmented roughly equally in Republican-controlled cities as in their Democratic counterparts, aforementioned a Brennan Center for Justice report cited by Media Matters. The analysis conjointly found that Republican candidates haven't clearly made public what federal-level policies they might adopt to drive down crime. Despite claims that Joe Biden has done nothing to handle crime, the president recently signed the primary federal gun safety bill in nearly 30 years, and therefore the Yank Rescue Plan. Below that, he with success pushed for $10 billion for policing and public safety. Each Republican in Congress opposed the Yank Rescue Plan, which was aimed towards serving to the financial setup recover within the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. A representative for brand spanking New York City-based Fox News failed to now reply to a request for comment.